Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 3 of Coffee Chats with Ranjani and.
Vignesh Kumar.
All right. So, today we're going to talk about another topic which we hear about during our mentoring sessions. How do you find a mentor? Such a favorite topic this is, Vignesh. I've heard it like more than once. How do you find a mentor, right? Again, there's no right or wrong answer to it. I can share perspectives around how I go about it, and I let Vignesh add, right? Um, First things first. I think I remember listening to this in a podcast as well. Uh, do not start with "Can you be my mentor?" Right? That's probably a very wrong way to get a mentor, especially if you don't know the person. If you know the person for long, that's a different thing altogether. You already have that rapport. But if it's a completely new person you're approaching, do not approach with the question, "Can you be my mentor?" Why? Why is that not a great question? Because it's very ambiguous, right? What does that mentoring relationship entail? That's not defined yet. It also adds a lot of responsibility onto a person who doesn't even have that credibility with you, right? Or that connection with you yet. So do not start with that. And to be very honest with you, none of my mentors have started with that question, right? Like they are mentors, but I've never started with, making it a formal arrangement saying, oh, can you be one, right? So it's generally progresses as a relationship. So that brings me to the next one. Give before you take, right? Especially in mentoring, I think this is so valid in general also. People start with what's in it for me. I think in general, you tend to progress faster in your careers when you start with what can I do to add value, right? So which means raising your hands up, volunteering for things, thinking about how you can add value. So when you give, you end up adding value, end up building relationships, and therefore then you are in a position to take at a later point in time, right? Next one is networking before you have to, right? I think people approach networking more like, oh, I need to do this, I need to find a new job, so let me go talk to this person. I think that's a very wrong way to approach networking, right? It has this big negative connotation. Networking is about building relationships. Someone mentioned this analogy around a dance. It's like a dance, right? So build relationships and do this authentically, right? Do this because you really want to learn from that person, you want to have a relationship with that person, and that happens over time, to a state where you can look back and say, oh, you know what, these are the kind of people I can call up at 5 a.m. and ask them for advice, or message them and ask them for advice, right? So but that doesn't happen overnight, that happens over a period of time. You need to invest in building those relationships, right? So those are my three: give before you take, network before you have to, and build authentic relationships over a longer term. Yeah. Vignesh, anything else you want
Yeah,
to
I
add?
think I'm not going to repeat your statements because
Yeah.
it's 2 minutes, and I'll tell what has worked for me, right?
Hmm.
Because uh, as Ranjani said, I don't. I all my mentors are basically people who led me in my previous roles. They are like I reach out to my the AVP who was leading me in my first job. I reach out to my leader who hired me in Lehman Brothers. I reach out to my consulting head who saw me in my 4 years in that stint, and off late all the leaders who I've worked with in my tech space, right, be it Dell, be it Oracle, VMware, the people who have seen me, who people who understand me, people who know my style, and that is the critical thing that I look out for, right? Like it is a natural progression where two people have this like a tango together, where they know your strengths, your weaknesses, and you know how I can leverage that person's strength who you're looking up to. So that's where I basically have multiple layers of mentors. Some of my mentors, as I said, are 20, they know me from when I was 22, 23. They can just take me apart and fix my family life also in some cases. In some cases I reach out for people for domain related stuff because they are technically very good, they have seen what's happening. So I don't that's how I basically look out for mentors. In my current space, I get inspired by people who post very similar articles or similar thoughts on LinkedIn. I reach out to them, and many a times that's how the relation starts building in. So that's my very simple methodology. I try to leverage the old relationships, people who know my style, people who I aspire to be, and then I just build on that. And over time they just very smoothly become my mentors. That's how I would put it.
Brilliant point, that, right? Not all mentors are the same. People have different levels of engagement and they don't have to be the same as well, right? So, great point on that, Vignesh. So, thanks a lot. I hope this has been helpful. We will talk to you soon in another episode of Coffee Chats. Bye bye.